It's Brian from Elektor TV, and I'm here at Embedded World 2026, and it's the last day. We're about to wrap up. And who am I speaking to? Our beloved Tam Hanna, long-time contributor from Elektor, very opinionated, and he's been here for 3 days. So Tam, how's it going?
I'm very honored. Thank you so much for the kind introduction. I am stoked to be here with you, Tristam. It's a big honor, and I'm absolutely happy. Let's get started.
So Tam, you've been around here. You've been everywhere. I don't know how many steps you've done, but what do you think are the main trends for 2026?
Well, probably at least 80,000 steps and at least 30 cigarillos. But, well, the thing is this. I mean, Embedded World traditionally is an engineer's fair. And for me, clearly the trend is AI is getting more and more out of the data center and into smaller and smaller devices. Microcontroller compute performance is getting higher and higher, and now it's starting to really reach a point where it will become visible for end consumers. Higher quality graphics, for example on the new low-end C-class by ST Microelectronics, AI features, a variety of new and interesting aspects.
And so they're bringing AI onto the edge and not so much relying on the cloud. I mean, I've seen some great Home Assistant demos at Espressif. Do you think there'll be less reliance on the internet, or maybe no reliance on the internet in 5 years, unless you really need connection to the cloud for some information?
Well, first things first, you've mentioned Espressif. Thank you so much for the name drop. Very interesting in many ways. The demo for the new A22 is actually an iPerf network performance test. So they are in a way closing the loop to their beginnings, again using their SoCs not only as a standalone MCU, but also again as a classic network coprocessor. And this is something which I just find fascinating. And as for the use of the internet, I don't think there will be less internet use in the future. I mean, the big war in the wireless module space is over. Like one vendor told me, we are just making gradual improvements, but we've got all these satellite technologies, all these mesh technologies, Wi-Fi Halo coming up. So I think we're going into a more connected age and not into a less connected age.
So you heard it from Tam Hanna. He thinks we're going into a more connected age. I just get annoyed when the internet goes down and I can't switch the lights off, but that's because I'm lazy and I'm still relying on the cloud for some things. Trend-wise, looking at the latest microcontrollers like the ARM Cortexes and the STM32s, who do you think is winning that game at Embedded World?
This is the kind of question which I really don't like, because there's a lot of new companies coming up. Look at Puya, for example, following the classic Giga device play, flash memory first, then microcontrollers. And there are a lot of new MCU firms coming up, so I don't really think it's a winner. But one thing we need to understand is mind share. And ST and Espressif, with their relative development environments, they have such a strong mind installation that it's difficult for a new company which brings in a new API, a new HAL, a new everything, to get started effectively. I mean, we've seen the Zephyr 10-year anniversary, and one of the reasons for their success, I believe, is just the hardware abstraction layer. Hardware abstraction layers might be the future winners of the microcontroller war.
Well, that's a good point. Hardware abstraction layers, and there's a lot of software ecosystem development going around a lot of the process. I mean, back in the day, they gave you a microcontroller and a small IDE. Now they're building entire ecosystems, of course, using AI, like Celos was a good example that we met. Have you seen AI in actual big screen software development of boards and chips?
Well, I was quite impressed by Microchip's new Visual Studio Code plugin. I mean, admittedly, I'm biased. I was honored to write an application note for them some years ago. But it is really impressive how it integrates the datasheet information right into the development environment. That was a prime example for AI integration.
And speaking of microcontrollers, Tom, why is this happening?
Well, the thing is this, we need to understand something. AI boom and all the other trends which demand more and more compute power basically lead to a situation where we now have more and more older fabs becoming available for microcontrollers. And so we get more and more compute power. So classic 8-bit machines, such as the ones on which I wrote the book, which I'm showing you here on my Kindle, are now less. And I mean, they are still important, but the move to 32-bit MCUs is now more or less complete. Because it's basically just easy to produce a 32-bit MCU on a fab which maybe doesn't have the ability to create the latest AI accelerator, but it's still miles ahead of the classic ancient fabs traditionally associated with microcontrollers. And so we are just having all this additional capacity coming up and all of this additional power coming up. And in many ways, it's just natural effect of the development of the sector. But of course, an 8-bitter still remains relevant, because when you understand how they work and how you program them, then you can read data sheets for 32-bit machines in a much easier fashion, and.
Well, that's great insight from Tam Hanna, and I guess I'll close it off by asking Tam, final last thoughts on the show this year.
Last thoughts on the show? I'm going to go over there to OEM Secrets and grab a beer. That's definitely my last thought for today. But in general, the show is growing, the show is larger, there are more people, and in general, I'm happy to see that the industry as a whole is doing well, because only if the industry as a whole is doing well, we all are doing well. And once again, I wanted to thank you, Brian Tristam, for having me. It has, as always, been a pleasure to be on Elektor TV. And thank you for the many years of trust and cooperation. Thank you again.
Well, thank you, Tam Hanna, and I hope to see you again soon. Perhaps it might be at Electronica.